That sharp anxiety triggered by a viral trend or a sold-out product is a form of self-inflicted psychological punishment. To understand why a missed purchase causes genuine distress, we have to look away from the mall and back to the environment where our brains actually evolved. For humans on the African savanna, separation from the tribe meant the immediate loss of shared food and collective protection. Survival required constant proximity to the group. Being left behind meant starvation or predation. This survival imperative is hardwired into our neurobiology. In 2003, researcher Naomi Eisenberger ran an experiment called Cyberball, where subjects were excluded from a virtual game of catch. MRI scans showed that social exclusion activated the dorsal anterior cingulate cortex, the same neural pathway that processes physical pain. That twist in your stomach when you are left out of a consumer trend is your brain simulating biological agony. It is a simulated death signal triggered by perceived social exile. While the pain is real, the drive to consume is powered by a massive misunderstanding of our neurochemistry. We often label dopamine as the pleasure molecule, but primate studies by Wolfram Schultz proved it serves a different master. This chart tracks dopamine levels during a task. The massive spike occurs during the anticipation phase, well before the reward is actually received. The brain is coding for the expectation of pleasure, a mechanism known as reward prediction error. Once the reward is obtained, dopamine levels drop below the original baseline. This creates a state of tonic dopamine depletion, meaning the act of opening a delivery box is neurochemically superior to actually using the product inside. Marketing departments engineer a neurochemical loop of permanent dissatisfaction. They leverage this post-purchase crash to ensure the only way to escape the tonic valley is to initiate the next transaction. In the mid-20th century, psychologist B.F. Skinner discovered that pigeons became obsessively hooked on tasks when rewards were given at unpredictable intervals. He called this intermittent reinforcement. Modern retail environments apply Skinner's findings through flash sales, limited-time drops, and algorithmic feeds. These unpredictable rewards transform the shopping experience into a digital slot machine, keeping the brain in a state of hyper-aroused anticipation. Once that anticipation is triggered, we hit a second trap, the paradox of choice. Researchers once tested this at a supermarket by offering customers varying selections of gourmet jam. The results were lopsided. When presented with 6 options, 30% of customers made a purchase. When given 24 options, that rate collapsed to just 3%. Excess choice overloads our cognitive capacity. The emotional cost of evaluating thousands of variations is exhausting. To cope, our brains outsource the decision-making process to algorithms and viral trends, choosing what the crowd chooses simply to end the fatigue. This pressure to choose correctly points to a broader shift described by philosopher Byung-Chul. He argues we have entered a society of performance where the internal drive to optimize has replaced external discipline. We have internalized the role of both the explorer and the exploited. We punish ourselves for every missed opportunity to optimize our lives or our image, treating rest or non-consumption as a failure of self-management. Sociologist Zygmunt Bauman describes this as liquid modernity, a state where identities are never finished. In this fluid world, people must continuously consume new products and experiences just to maintain their market value as person commodities. Our brains evolved to signal status within groups of about 150 people. The digital feed shatters that limit, forcing us to signal our worth against thousands of hyper-optimized lives. Digital FOMO is the existential terror of losing your value in a social marketplace that never stops moving. It is a race for relevance, where the finish line is reset every time you scroll. Many try to escape through JOMO, or the joy of missing out. But the market has already absorbed this, selling silence and digital detoxes as the next tier of luxury consumption. Classical Stoicism offers a more rigorous technology of cognitive resistance. Thinkers like Marcus Aurelius developed these tools to maintain mental autonomy when faced with intense social and political pressure. Epictetus proposed the dichotomy of control, the practice of identifying what is in our power and what is not. FOMO is an emotional investment in an algorithm's priority list, a variable entirely outside of your control. Seneca suggested premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. By vividly imagining the absolute worst-case scenario of missing a trend, the brain recognizes that the actual consequence is zero. This visualization disarms the amygdala's threat response. Modern retail now operates on cycles of micro-seasons and daily product drops, where trends become obsolete before the package even arrives. In a market built on permanent dissatisfaction, a satisfied consumer represents a structural shutdown of the profit cycle. The FOMO machine is designed to ensure you never feel enough, because feeling enough is bad for business. Will you continue to exploit your own biology for an algorithm, or will you choose to be the glitch in the architecture? Tell me your strategy for opting out in the comments.